people think that burnout is about working too hard. And I've met a lot of people who are hard workers that aren't burned out. So when they hear people say that burnout happens because of workload, they are in disbelief because they work so hard but never burn out. They think it's a myth. But burnout is about spending more than you have capacity for too long. Not everything you do costs the same. Some things take an hour of your time and they leave you feeling energized and alive. Other things take 20 minutes and that can wipe you out for the rest of the day. You felt this. You know exactly what I mean. You had that meeting at 10 a.m. and somehow it left you exhausted for the whole day. Or you had that one conversation for 5 minutes with one person and it left you feeling like you need to lie down. Or maybe it was that task that you kept putting off and you finally did it and it made you feel alive. You felt energized after finishing it, after completing that task. Energy is not just about how much time you put into it, how much sleep you had the night before, or how hard you work. It's about what you're spending yourself on. And most of us never stop to actually map that out. That's what we're going to cover today. This might be one of the most practical episodes yet. You're listening to Give Yourself Some Leeway with me, your host, Eugene Lee. This is a follow on from our last episode when we did the energy audit. So let's start with a simple framework. Think of your energy like a bank account. And every day you start with a new balance. And throughout the day, you start making withdrawals. Some things even put deposits of energy back in. Most people don't start considering their energy until their account has already hit zero, when they are completely depleted. Energy management means learning how to track your transactions. So let's start with what drains our account. Energy drains are the people, tasks, environments, and habits that we have that consistently cost more than they give back. They're not always obvious. Some of them can be invisible. Some of them are disguised as being normal. Some of them are things that you feel you should be doing, but your body keeps the score. For instance, in work, one of the biggest drains are those meetings with no purpose. You know exactly what I mean. You show up, you sit there for an hour, and you leave wondering, why couldn't this have been an email? I had no input. No one had input. It was just a lecture. That could have been a simple 2 paragraph email. Or constant multitasking, switching contexts, jumping between tasks, opening different tabs, starting conversations, being pulled out of a project. All of this context switching in your day is one of the biggest hidden drains of modern work life. Your brain pays a switching cost every single time. Over a full day, that cost adds up to something significant. It's like opening thousands of tabs on your laptop, but never closing them. They're all just running in the background. You keep on switching context, you keep on switching between the tabs, but never finishing the process, never closing that loop. That's going to affect the performance and slow down your PC. That's what's happening to your brain. Another one is having unclear expectations. When you don't know what finishing the task looks like, your brain stays anxious, always scanning, always second guessing. When is this going to end? That can cause a low grade anxiety. And that can be exhausting if there's no clear finish line. Even when nothing dramatic is happening, nothing that needs hypervigilance, your brain stays in this low, anxious, vigilant mode to be like, where's the finish line so that I can cross it? In our personal lives, we also have drains. It's not only in the workplace. If we have any relationships where we are putting more in than we're receiving back, and if we are expecting something back, that expectation gap can cause an energy drain. One of the biggest culprits of energy drain, something that absolutely bleeds you of your energy, is doom scrolling. And while at first it may feel like it's helping you rest and relax and stimulate in a way, this is low quality stimulation. It's a dopamine fix. It's been engineered to keep your attention. And what it does is it drains your focus and attention. As you scroll through this, your brain is constantly scanning hundreds of videos as you scroll through this for 10 or 20 minutes, probably sitting on the toilet. And it opens all of these loops that your brain cannot close because that's how these videos hook you. They hook you with an open loop so that you need to click for more, click for part two. And if you don't, that leaves an open loop in your brain. You may not even realize it because you've already put your attention on the next video, but that's an open tab that your brain is trying to close. As I said, this is your brain's processing power, 1000 tabs open, and no way to close them immediately. Now, let's talk about the energy gains. What are the activities, the tasks, the people, the environments that feed you, that make you feel energized, make you feel alive? Most people don't even know how to recognize their energy gains, and they definitely don't have enough of them in their daily life. So think about the work that you do that's worth protecting, the deep, focused work that when you do it, you're in full flow, fully absorbed in something that challenges you at just the right level, that makes you feel like you're growing and learning and contributing in some way. This is one of the greatest energy sources that you can have in your life. It's not a drain at all. You can put in your deepest work and you feel energized after hours. The tragedy is that most people schedule that deep work at the end of their day. After all the meetings and all the emails have been addressed, that's when they decide to get into their deep work. And they don't have the energy capacity to get into that deep work state, to get into that flow, to get past that first 23-minute struggle to access that flow state. Another big energy gain is having some autonomy in your day, not being on autopilot, but having this psychological safety in the work that you do, where you have the confidence, you feel in control of what you do and how you do your work. It helps your nervous system to relax. You stop bracing. You stop bracing for that impact that something could go wrong or someone is going to take over control. When you create that ease, it helps you to create and replenish energy rather than consuming it by thinking that you need to maintain control, by not being in that safe psychological state. When you stop bracing, that energy is created easily. Feeling genuinely useful in the work that you do, not just busy all the time, but feeling like you're contributing, that you're useful for what you do. That fills something deep. That really replenishes your capacity in the work that you do. When your work connects to a clear outcome that matters to you, it feeds you even when the work is hard. Personal gains that help you to fill your cup. One that is often overlooked is spending time in nature. It's why, even in big cities, there is always a green park somewhere in the middle of the city. We need some access to nature. More than ever, people need to touch grass. It's not woo woo, it is in your biology. Accessing creative activities as well. Being in the office environment is not healthy. Being in this analytical, logical state of mind all the time. Your brain needs to take a break from that analytical side and access your creative side, the other side of your brain. And we covered this in a previous episode with Diana Stellan, how creativity helps to heal burnout. It can be cooking, writing, it can be drawing, art, it can be building something with your hands, it can be Lego. It activates a different part of your brain. And by giving your analytical and problem solving side of the brain a chance to take a break, it's deeply restorative. Spending time with the right people, not just any people, but with the right people, can be restoring. We are social animals, and I am as introverted as they come. But when I spend time with the right people that I can have good conversations with, easy conversations with, where I can be honest and open and have an exchange where I leave feeling seen rather than feeling depleted in small, superficial conversation talking about sports, cars, and the weather. If I can feel seen in a deep conversation, that leaves me feeling fueled. It makes me feel confident that I've built a relationship with someone. That helps to fuel me rather than depleting me by having small surface level talk. So we can replenish our energy not by building any relationships, but by focusing our time on the right ones, having a small circle of people that we can trust and vent in a way. Venting helps, it helps to decompress, but having a space where we can share our thoughts, share how we truly feel, having those open spaces, safe spaces, can replenish our energy. Now, one thing I want to make very clear, it's not that you want to get rid of everything that drains and only focus on things that give you energy gains. You're not going to be able to eliminate every drain from your life. Some meetings are unavoidable. Some colleagues, as much as they drain you, they're not going to go anywhere. Maybe it's friends and family. You can't cut all of them out. Some responsibilities just are what they are. They're going to be in your life, but you almost certainly have more choice than you think about which ones you can keep and which ones can go. You can batch the draining tasks instead of spreading them throughout the day. Batch the draining tasks at maybe the end of the day and get the gains earlier in the day. Or maybe have a few draining tasks, but schedule an energy gain somewhere in the middle to give you that energy boost that you're going to need. You can protect your peak energy window for the energy gain times, for tasks where you can give your full input and expect some energy back to replenish, to follow up with the drains later in the day. You can notice which personal habits are marketed at rest, but actually cost you energy. Think about that doom scrolling. It's marketed as, oh, this is a way you can wind down after a long day. Or people use it on their lunch breaks or on their commute. They're just scrolling mindlessly. But that is costing you more energy than you realize. You can be more intentional about seeking out the things that genuinely restore you. You can make small shifts, repeat them daily, and you will see the difference over time. So, this week's exercise is called the energy map. If you've already done the energy audit, it will make this so much easier. So, here's what you do: you take a piece of paper or open a blank note on your phone and draw a line down the middle. Left side, you have energy drains, right side, energy gains. So, drains, gains. Now, spend 10 minutes to go through your energy audit and look at all the activities where energy was high or energy was low, and you can find out which of these activities was an energy gain or an energy drain. Spend about 10 minutes and list out all the things you can think of and say whether they're a drain or a gain. Are they going on the left side or the right side? Don't overthink it. When you're done, look at both sides and just ask yourself, which of these drains can I reduce, batch, or eliminate? Which gain am I not getting enough of right now? Are there things, if you look at your energy audit, are there things that you feel could be an energy gain in your life that were not included in your 3 day energy audit? Could you go back and see what could I include in my week that I'm not already seeing in my pattern that could help me to boost my energy? What one change could I make right now that would make the biggest difference to my daily energy? This isn't about completely overhauling your life and starting a completely new routine. It's about making one small change, one small change. And that one small shift towards an energy gain versus an energy drain. If you do that consistently, your energy, your capacity, and your life are going to start to look very different. I'm going to close again with something that I really believe. A lot of people think that burnout is about working too hard. And I've met a lot of people who are hard workers that aren't burned out. So when they hear people say that burnout happens because of workload, they are in disbelief because they work so hard but never burn out. They think it's a myth. But burnout is about spending more than you have capacity for too long. So if you spend all your energy, all your capacity on something that you don't have the energy to complete, and you're compensating in all the wrong ways too long, and you don't have the awareness to course correct to realign your energy, you're on the fast track to burnout. And today, this energy audit and energy map, that is the awareness that I'm talking about. When you know your drains, you can protect yourself from the worst of them. When you know your energy gains, you can stop treating them as little luxuries in your life and start treating them as essentials. When you go outside for a walk in nature, that's not a luxury. That's not a treat for yourself. That is fuel for your day. That creative hobby, whether it's drawing, art, cooking, dancing, playing with Lego, that's not a waste of time. That's you recharging, replenishing, allowing your analytical brain to take a break. That's maintenance. That afternoon with people you love is not an indulgence. It's necessary for your survival. It's necessary for you to live the life that you want because you're allowed to build a life that replenishes you. In fact, it's not that you're just allowed. It's something that it's the only way that you can sustainably show up long term, to show up at your best, at your full potential. If you want to show up for everything and everyone that matters to you, building a life that replenishes you is the only sustainable way that you can do that. The only way that you can continue to show up for everything that matters to you. And it all starts with this energy map that we discussed this week. It only takes 10 minutes, especially if you've done the energy audit from the episode 2 weeks ago. If you've done that energy audit already, then this will only take 10 minutes to make this energy map and find out what drains you, how you can batch those drains together or even eliminate some of them, or the gains. Do you have enough energy gains in your day? Is there a way for you to make time for more energy gains in your week? I really hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And until next time, take care.